Power to the people. I am first and foremost a humane being. A humane being. Being is the ground of consciousness. As a humane being, I have care, concern, and loving compassion for all living beings. From the human animal to the bees. It is not always easy to be humane. I was raised in a sick, twisted, insane society. Of course, I didn't think this when I was a child. Now I am 61 of your Earth years. I've had a hard life, though not as hard as many others. And I have made a decision to strive to be more and more of a compassionate, humane being. We need to not be divided by labels. Like, say, the label of race. Race is a social invention. So we say black, brown, yellow, white. And no matter what color someone is, they're still a human being. You know, we distinguish between genders. Male, female, transgender, gay. Yet we still remain a human being. We get divided by nation, when in reality, in connected reality here now, we are living under the U.S. empire. So under empire there can be no independent nations. Rather, their colonies are neo-colonies of an evil empire. It's not strictly American. This empire, it's global empire. So we need to look at all the labels that we put on ourselves that divide us from each other. This doesn't mean that we don't have any kind of identity beyond being a human being. But it does mean that, at least for me, that we remember that we are all members of the human family. It takes a conscious effort for me to be humane. It doesn't always come natural. I'm working on it. Sometimes when I relate to someone and they're treating me like I'm inferior to them because of their skin color or their social status or who they are, and they think they're superior, that irritates me. So I try not to judge only by appearance. I look at the character of a being. We look at the world now. I'm in 2013 here, and we see great divisions in the land, great divisions among the people. We're divided by wings. Are you left wing or are you right wing? When the whole insanity of that is that whole left right wing contradiction came from like last century. It had to do with the French and where they sat at in a parliamentary situation. Not even last century, the century before. And so it's insane to get hung up on who's left and who's right wing. I believe the truth is in the center. That we need to have a united center. Though I support a united left in theory, in practice I see we need to have a united center. And see each other as family. Even a stranger who is a member of the human family can be considered family. When we live our lives with that consciousness of each other as being of the same family, we can achieve a oneness with other people. And right now, we need to be united together, because Mother Earth is in great danger. We are on the edge of extinction as a species. We do not even know how close to that extinction that we're in. Either because of climate change, or because of the proliferation of nuclear weapons. Although the USA government attacks Iran for wanting to have a nuclear weapon or even nuclear industry, the USA has been the only country to ever actually use nuclear weapons. So we need to be aware of that. At all times, remember, a humane being has a tender care, a genuine concern, and a loving compassion for people, especially people who suffer in the misery of poverty. And it seems like throwing out a bunch of statistics doesn't really penetrate into the brain. That when we come from a position of being humane and having humane compassion, then we can more easily absorb and feel empathy for other people. Not sympathy, just feeling sorry for someone, but empathy. Where when they suffer, we suffer. Look at our brother Leonard Peltier, the decades that he's been locked up, caged. This is a beautiful man who's being caged like an animal. You know, where's the progressive movement in the USA? So we need to look at all the ways that we divide ourselves from other people. This doesn't mean that there are no differences, but it does mean that our superficial differences do not become obstacles to us integrating as one family. When we stop and think about who we are, what we are, and we remember that we are one family on one Mother Earth in this one lifetime. You can believe in reincarnation or not. I do myself, but that's me. But the fact remains, I'm living in this one lifetime right now. And if you notice, no one gets out of life alive. So while we're living, we need to look at what's going on in our lives, what's going on in other people's lives. When we see injustice, we need to condemn it. When we see someone who's hungry, we need to feed that person. And we need to really care about each other as human beings and evolve as a species. Evolve from being a mere two-legged carnivorous animal into being a genuine humane being. This is why I consider myself first and foremost a humane being. And it's more than just an E after human. You know, it's a way of being. A state of being humane, not mean, but being kind to humankind. This is not just a play on words, this is connected reality. Look at how screwed up this country is. The world. You know, every country around the world is going through all kinds of chaos and trauma and upheaval to different degrees. You know, look at Zimmerman being acquitted for the killing of our son Trayvon Martin. I'm glad there haven't been riots over it. There's many ways to rage. So this is a reminder to whoever sees this video. If you're not now a humane being, perhaps in your lifetime, it's time to consider becoming one, in the hopes that we could save humanity. Namaste.